This right here is the gold standard as a pesticide applicator. Hey my friend, it's Austin from Applicate over here, and today we are going to be talking about integrated pest management. What is integrated pest management? It's a fancy term, essentially, for, hey, let's use multiple different methods to control a pest. Okay, that's what integrated pest management is in a nutshell. What integrated pest management is not not a one-size-fits-all. That's what it's not. Okay, that's why it's in red. One-size-fits-all. Where does that come into play? Well, back in the day when pesticide applicators were kind of first a thing, they would just blanket spray an entire property with organophosphates for the most part. And then as products developed, we got into synthetic pyrethroids, and then we started to blanket spray properties with all of that. Well, that's not integrated pest management. Integrated pest management is looking at the pest, identifying when it's at its most vulnerable. It's using different products, controlling different life stages. It's changing the environment so that way you don't necessarily have to introduce pesticides. There's a lot of benefit to integrated pest management. And it's one of those things where, as this industry develops, we integrate more and more different methods. We integrate softer, quote-unquote, products, less toxic products. We learn timing better. We learn how to do various things a whole lot better. And as society in general becomes really conscious and concerned with pesticide use, you're going to start to see an increase in biological and fungal ways of combating things. Like right now, I've seen some various products out there that are going to be using bacteria and funguses to control mites or insects, which has previously never been done. They've been researching this a lot. So we can get rid of these insecticides and start using something that's a biopesticide. So that is integrated pest management, right? And this right here is the gold standard as a pesticide applicator. Now there's some areas where integrated pest management is really limited. Okay, let's talk about like lawn care. Okay, we'll make lawn care green. Okay, so lawn care. How do we deal with lawn care? Okay, lawn care, you're going to be mowing the grass, you're going to be fertilizing the grass, you're going to be watering the grass, and then to eliminate weeds for the most part, you're going to be doing chemical applications on the lawn. In terms of that, that's really the most cost-effective way. I don't think too many clients are going to be out there paying you to go out there and hand pull all of these weeds out of their lawn. It's just not cost effective and nobody really wants to do that. You have to pay people a lot of money to do that. Okay? Weeding, back-breaking work, it's not going to be a thing. So with lawn care, you're going to be using a lot of pesticides, but what are the cultural practices, right? Let's come over here. Cultural practices, you're mowing, water or irrigation, fert, and then this even goes down a little bit further to mow height, right? So there's a lot of cultural practices that make lawn care very, very an integrated pest management style or way of managing the lawn. But these are some things that definitely affect this, right? If you're mowing the grass way too short, you're allowing weeds to come up in to the grass. Whereas if you mow it at the proper height and you have a really dense stand, now you're eliminating a lot of weeds because it's such a dense stand of turf. You also need to water that turf to make it dense, and then you also need fertilizer to make it dense. So that's just one way in lawn care integrated pest management is a thing. Let's talk about mosquitoes, right? We'll do mosquitoes in blue. Mosquitoes, okay? How do we deal with mosquitoes in an integrated pest management way? Well, timing, right? We have the timing of mosquitoes. When are they most susceptible? We have larvicides. Larvicides only affect mosquitoes, and you can use organic bacterias that do it. There are some chemical methods, but I find that the organic bacteria, why would you introduce a chemical if you have an organic bacteria that does it? But we have larvicides, we have the timing, we have insect growth regulators, right? Insect growth regulators are going to make it to where you're manipulating the mosquitoes with a hormone. This is still a chemical. These are still chemicals, but this is a biopesticide. But this is going to reduce the mosquitoes long term because you're reducing the breeding that's going on. You're manipulating the mosquitoes with a hormone. They can't reproduce, they struggle to fly, and they struggle to eat. So an IGR is really, really good there. What else do we do with mosquitoes? Environment. The environment is probably the most critical thing you can do for mosquitoes. You want to get rid of standing water. You want to get rid of resting sites. You want to get it to where it's not a very habitable place for mosquitoes. And I'd say that, doing that 100% is next to impossible. But if you can eliminate the standing water or treat any large bodies of standing water with larvicides, you introduce your IGRs, maybe you introduce something like traps, right? They make mosquito traps. So now you're not using chemicals per se all across the lawn, but you're burning CO2, which is causing heat, and it's releasing CO2, so it's attracting them into a catch basin. There's a lot of things with integrated pest management and mosquitoes that works really well. With in the tree care industry, how do we do it with the tree care industry? In the plant health care industry with trees, you're going to be doing this based on timing for the most part. If you can capture and treat those insects or those issues, those diseases at the right time, you can reduce the amount of pesticides overall. So integrated pest management, like I said, this is the absolute gold standard as a pesticide applicator. Whatever it is that you're doing out there, this is how you should be operating. You should be operating under an integrated pest management strategy and management plan. I actually I'll save that for a different video. But yeah, so I just want to make this brief video on integrated pest management. You got to be thinking about these things. That's what the modern pesticide applicator should be thinking about. It's not one of those things where you should just spray the whole yard with chemicals and kill everything. That's not what we want. There's a lot of beneficial insects out there, and we should be doing our part as pesticide applicators, as professionals, to be stewards of the environment. That's what I believe we are. We are stewards of the environment, and we use tools to control various pests for a very limited amount of time. So other than that, I hope you guys like this video. More to come on integrated pest management, pesticide applicator content. Please like and subscribe, as always. Really helps the channel. And other than that, take care, God bless, and go get them.